A subtle bug enters my KOS launch script, Madby performs a magic trick, and Kerbin tries to keep the Kraken caged. All of this and more coming up right now. Hello everyone and welcome. We're just up here with Kerbin Station along with Valentina, Kerbin, and Bob and 3 tourists. And you might recall from last episode that this is actually just the beginning because of a Tourism Plus contract that I have to bring 16 tourists up here and keep them up here for a space camp for 40 days while our more experienced Kerbal sort of teach them the ropes. In order for that to work though, we need to do some upgrades to this thing. We need to bring up quite a bit of supplies, so that supply barge is coming up fairly shortly. As well, we need a brand new docking hub up here to support all the ships that I'm going to need to bring all these Kerbals up here. And you'll be seeing that this episode as well as we try to attach that massive thing to this. But right now I'm still getting electricity warnings coming up on this thing, so I'm trying to puzzle out what exactly is going on. There is some experiment that's gobbling up over 5 units of electric charge per second, and right now it does seem to be okay even with that. The solar generation can keep up with it. Why don't we do some time warping? Watch it as we go into the dark side here. Oh, warning, Kerbin Station batteries are almost empty again. Yoich. Yeah, we are. Sun has just gone down and suddenly batteries are like, pow. Electric charge, we have 1 minute and 29 seconds. What experiment is running? Let's check this out. The flight experiment is running. What does the flight experiment do for me? Flight experiment. So, 14 days to run. Uses up a lot of electricity, can do it in space low, not biome specific, and space high. So it's yeah, let's turn the flight experiment off for now. Let's nurse these folks through the night. There we go. Light power is out. Life support systems are off. By the way, some of you might be going, wait, if you don't render, it won't use electricity. And the answer to that question is, yeah, it does. It will use electricity whether you're rendering or not. Whether I'm here or somewhere else makes no difference. That's what Kerbalism does for you. So the fact that I'm not going to the KSC so it's not rendered does not resolve this situation. Okay, but we are now draining a lot less electricity. Life systems are back online. We're charging up good. Let's watch this go around one more time. Hopefully we'll resolve this issue. There we go, we're draining. Batteries are draining far more slowly now. 80%, 70, and then that's it. So now I can make it through the night once I turned off that flight experiment. Oh, you know what else it needs? It needs more batteries, doesn't it? Sure does. Now at 3.18 units of electric charge per second, that works out to a night drain of about 3,400 units of electric charge just from that flight experiment alone. And my largest battery is still just these Z400 ones. They're 400 units of electric charge each. That comes out to I need 9 of them, or them with some combination of smaller battery. I mean, I guess that's doable. But I also have these capacitors up here. These capacitors are coming from Near Future Electrical. I mean, look at this one. It's 3,000 units of electric charge alone. But I'm not 100% sure how they work. I mean, in real world, a capacitor is not really about storing electric charge for a long period of time like a battery is. They're about storing it for a short period of time, but what they can do is they charge extremely quickly and they can dump their charge very quickly. I'm not quite sure how that would manifest itself within the game. Man, they're light as well. God, they can't just work like a battery. That would feel kind of cheaty. I don't know. So this one's 3,000. This one over here is 800 units of electric charge. Still a lot more than any of the batteries I have. Alright, I'm gonna have to think about this. I'm gonna have to work this all out later. Right now I got another launch to do. This here is Minmus Relay 4. This is an exact duplicate of Moon Relay 4 that you saw last episode. Clearly this one is going to Minmus on, well, a duplicate of the exact same relatively useless mission of putting an additional relay satellite around Minmus, but considering I already have a full network around Minmus, it's not necessary, but I got a contract for it, so I'm going to do this. So we won't spend a lot of time with this, except for one thing. Getting to Minmus, we've gone to Minmus lots and lots and lots of times before, and what I've always done is gone out here, found Minmus, right there, looked at Kerbin, centered on Kerbin, and you want to launch at Minmus equatorial ascending or descending node, which is where Minmus's orbit crosses the equator, Kerbin's equator, and the moon's orbit gives you where Kerbin's equator is, right? So right now this is the descending node, right? We're past that, so I'd have to time warp until we're under the ascending node, and I always used to do that. And then in the Discord a couple of months ago, we were talking about this, and I wrote a KOS script, a really simple KOS script to give you the actual time to when these nodes are coming up, so you know what time to do your launch. It was a pretty simple thing to do. And then somebody said, you know you can do this with Kerbal Engineer, right? That's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you how to do this with Kerbal Engineer. So we're going to go out here, we're going to pick Minmus, we're going to set it as a target, and we're going to go back here. And up here at the second HUD here, between these two separators, a new piece of information came up as to the distance to the target. It seems to be a little bit messed up right now because Minmus is clearly not 0 millimeters away, but perhaps once we start moving that will work out fine. All we need is some more information. So I'm going to open up Kerbal Engineer. Let's move this out of the way. We're going to edit this second HUD, and we want to look at rendezvous information. And down here's what I've already got installed, but what I'm interested in is, let's get some more information here. Oh, relative inclination's a useful one. I want to add that to the list. And you can see it popped up down here at the bottom. I would like it to be in this rendezvous section that I've created, so I just go scroll this down and use the little arrows to kind of move it up above that separator. So now it tells me relative inclination with Minmus is 6 degrees, which is obviously correct. But what it also gives you is the time to the relative ascending node and the time to the relative descending node. So let's install both of those. Again, we'll move them up into the appropriate section. And this is kind of useful information anyway. When doing rendezvous, I haven't done rendezvous where there's this big inclination thing that I have had to worry about, so it hasn't come up. But knowing the time to the relative ascending node, so that's the node between your current orbit and the target orbit that you're shooting for, is pretty useful. But you can see this telling me that my ascending node is 1 hour and 20 minutes ahead of me, and the descending node is, well, it says minus. I'm assuming that's, I guess, in the past, like somehow I could time warp into the past, but whatever. What it's telling me is all I got to do is time warp an additional 1 hour and 20 minutes, and that will put me right underneath the equatorial ascending node. And because it's an ascending node, I know I need to launch towards the north 6 degrees. No need for map view, no need for any of that kind of stuff. So all I got to do now is open up my KOS terminal and run my launch script and go 6 degrees towards the north. I know it's a 5-second countdown, so when we're 5 seconds from the equatorial ascending node, I'll hit the enter key and we'll start this off. I certainly couldn't do it this accurately eyeballing it, that's for sure. Go 9, okay, and then and go. Are we going? Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go a little bit slow. I don't know, it took a second to get going, I guess. We're off. I'm sure it doesn't really matter. But as well as that went, there was another problem lurking in the weeds. Well, why didn't you stage the fairings? You should be staging the fairings at 50 km. Okay, that's 5. Okay, so I have that on action groups, that worked, but I don't understand why the script Didn't do that for me. I'm going to... And in fact, I'm noticing on the messages here, it's not even telling me that I even tried to stage the fairing. Okay, okay. I've had this kind of problem before. We'll just keep an eye on this. Nope, nope, nope. Something's wrong. Okay, program aborted. Okay, we're good. We're good. There is something going on. I did hit 80, didn't I? I'll have to go back and take a look at the video, but it went by. Oh, let's put on lights and deployables. Do I have lights? Yeah. Here, let's run Circat. Okay, and then X-Men. I'll explain what's going on here. There's, I don't know, unless I didn't put 80 kilometers for my target apoapsis in there when I launched, but I'm pretty sure that I did. And I've had this in some testing where the program just gets hung in a loop somewhere. It doesn't crash, it just hangs, so the rocket's still going. And I've never had that issue before. I was having that issue with a polar orbit during simulation for a rocket that's coming up. But I've never had this issue before upgrading to 1.10. But now I'm having this issue with this inclined orbit. I gotta try and figure it out. I couldn't puzzle it out. And it's weird because I've never had that issue before. Something new. And I'll let you know, this is a subtle one. It took me a while to track it down. It all came down to this very innocent looking line to lock the steering to a new heading. And you can see under the heading command, there are these three functions: my heading, my pitch, and my roll. This is what controls which way the rocket is pointing from about a few seconds after launch until it gets to 40 kilometers, at which point it's supposed to lock to prograde. And what my heading, my pitch, and my roll do is they calculate the heading that I want, the pitch that I want, and the roll that I want, and then point the rocket into the appropriate direction. The thing though with the lock command in KOS is that as my heading, my pitch, and my roll change the values that they are returning, it will change the way in which the rocket is pointing. That's how I'm able to get the rocket to slowly pitch over during its ascent. However, that means that it's calling those three functions all the time. And for only one of them, the my pitch function isn't really necessary because it's only the pitch that changes as the rocket ascends. The heading and the roll stay exactly the same. And the only thing I can figure is that the continual calls to especially my heading, which is actually a fair amount of calculations when you get into an inclined orbit, that's why it's the inclination that made the difference. The my heading actually does a fair amount of calculation. Doing them over and over and over again must have been straining the processor's resources. And I don't know if KOS is simulating a limited processor in some way or not. Maybe that's the change that happened in a recent upgrade and I was getting some sort of, I don't know, a stack overflow error or something. I don't know. I'm not really that much of a computer guy. But when I changed the code to this, so that my heading and my roll are only called once, it completely fixed the problem. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go much more into it than that because, quite frankly, I don't really understand it much more into it than that. But it fixed the problem. It seems to be running fine now. As for this, well, we got it into orbit. We recovered it. We sent it off to Minmus. And that's going to take, of course, several days for it to get its way to Minmus. In the meantime, well, my supply barge was ready. Alright, so this is our supply barge on its way to Kerbin Station with this sunrise launch, loaded with snacks and goodies for my instructors up there in Kerbin Station and their soon-to-be-coming students. Well, they got 3 students so far, but I hope to be shipping up the other 13 in earnest starting next episode. And although I hadn't by this point figured out what the problem was with my launch script, this going into an equatorial orbit, the problem never seems to present itself in that situation, so it inserted itself perfectly fine. Good's enough. Okay. So we're going to close this. Oh, we're out of fuel. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. it literally run out of fuel at the exact moment? This thing is dry. Oh no, yeah. Is it? Is it completely 100% done and dry? Or is there like a smidge of fuel left? There was a smidge of fuel left, but not enough to deorbit it. That's interesting. Okay. I have been adding, that could be a resort, as I kept on adding stuff to the supplies. Because all of a sudden I was thinking of other things, so I've added nitrogen to the supplies. Also, in this inventory container, I put in some solar panels into this, so all that's adding a little bit of weight, and I wasn't retesting it, so that might have, so there's a lot more supplies in here than what I had when I was designing this thing last episode. But okay, let's get ourselves to Kerbin Station. Alright, we're going to be at the station in 16 and a half minutes. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, did not see that coming. Okay. And if you've forgotten about the Keriner 2B, I don't blame you. I've clearly forgotten about it as well. This is an interplanetary correction burn. You know what? I think I think I can afford not to go to that. The timing of that's not essential. We'll deal with all this first, and then we'll get out there. I always want these guys in a line here. This one, and this one. That means you're going the right way. You're going the right way. Of course, this one's coming from a mod. A nav ball docking alignment indicator. Honestly, should be stock. Period. That's such a simple thing to have there, and it's awesome. I'm just following that target icon to the center of the nav ball with the prograde icon. That's all there is to it. Easy peasy pants. Okay. There we go. We are there. Let's start doing the fun job of transporting over supplies. So we'll start with water. Water. I really should be looking into one of these resource. Oh, especially if I'm going to do this kind of stupidity. Look how many water containers I put on it. Yeah, I don't make my life easier, do I? I really should be starting to think about... I should get there's resource management mods for dealing with all this stuff, and considering the amount of resources I'm going to have to be managing is only going to get higher. I'm not doing myself any favors with this. So, wait, water. Okay, I gotta find... There's another water container right there. I mean, you don't have to put up with this for very long. You get the benefit of editing. I have to do this in real time. If you have a favorite resource management mod out there, and you would like to share it down there in the comments, I would be very interested. I would like something that's reasonably stock-alike and doesn't add in a whole lot of new windows. But let me know. In the meantime, I got an interplanetary probe to check in on. Okay, here is the Keriner 2B now. We have missed, I believe, yes, we're 14 minutes past our little correction burn here, 5.8 meter per second correction burn, but that's okay because this is an interplanetary correction burn and the timing of this is not essential. So we'll end up moving it. Now, one thing I'm noticing right away is the burn time is like half a second. So let's reduce our thrust here significantly so that it can do this burn time more accurate. Okay, so Keriner 2B, if you have forgotten about this, this is from the depths of last season. I don't blame you, but it is a spacecraft that, come on, scroll out, let's see. It has whipped by Eve, got a gravity assist from Eve, and it's now on its way out to Jool, and it's encountering Jool in, looks like 1 year, 219 days, if I have that right. So, but what we got to do is we got to do this correction burn. So we're just going to end up just moving it forward in time a little bit. So let's take a look at what our trajectory is here. Here's our, we're whipping around. This is, what are the heck are we doing? Yes, so this purple one Where is it? There it is. This big purple one's our current trajectory coming in on Jool. We're bringing it down so that it is equatorial with Jool, and my goal is to try and see if I can scrounge out some encounters with some of these bodies in and around Jool. So hopefully I can move this forward in time without really affecting things too much. Now I can see things, like if we look here at periapsis, barely changing. It's going closer to Jool. I hope it's not going too close to Jool. Okay, so that's coming up now in a couple of minutes. I think this should all be okay. I don't know how high Jool's atmosphere is. It's 248 kilometers around Jool, okay? I guess we'll find out. We'll see how it goes. This is all gravy anyway, because I designed this thing just to go around Eve. Everything else is gravy. And the main thing I'm looking at is, am I in close enough, I think, to being in Jool's equatorial plane that I'm hoping to be able to finagle some encounters. There we go. Our program has ended. Give me, I don't know, 15-minute warning on when we'll get to Jool, but that's in 1 year, 170 days. So, yeah, not for a while. Although that's now all the resource bit of this, there's still more stuff on this barge. In the inventory containers, I put in some solar panels, as I mentioned, but also some long ladder bits. I love these long ladder bits, like here. I just chuck them in there. I don't know. I like to be able to give my Kerbals the ability to crawl around the station. You can see I could put one here if I wanted to. But that's all in the future. Right now, here's another inventory container. These inventory containers are from KAS. And it looks like I got room in here. Good. So we can store these over here. The inventory containers. Oh, a max designated volume. Poop. Poop, poop, poop. Okay, we're going to have to clear some space. Kerbery's got to do an EVA. Okay, where's Kerbery? This is a tourist. Where is he? He's still in... What are you doing in here? Friggin' tourists? You guys are a menace. Why is there a tourist in the cockpit? What are you doing there? That's not somewhere you should be. Stay within the designated areas. Okay, we'll move Melfred over here with the other tourists. Actually, I think I just put him in with Valentina. Valentina doesn't want him around. Valentina and Kerbery are like, get out of here. Back before the break in the quarterdeck for you, sir. Alright, so Kerbery is going to EVA. Great job. Your medal will be waiting for you when you return to the KSC. What was that for? I have no idea what that was about. Okay, so we need to clear some space out of this end inventory container. I can take these. These things are huge. Why don't I just take these out of here? Oh, I know what to do. You put this on her back. Here we go. Here we go. This is how you do this. So that's like a backpack, and now she can carry all kinds of crap. You can carry a couple of these mounts too, betcha. Yep. Okay, okay, we're good now. Alright, we're going to mount some more containers on these sides here. Where are some good spots to put them? We're going to put that on the other side here. Yep. That's good, good, good. Okay, now, in this container, there is another one of these. Another one of these big inventory containers. Boom. Lots of storage. Now, we just added more storage capacity. There we go. Now we got lots of space. The ladder bits. Is it all going to fit? It's all going to fit. Okay. So this fuel barge is now completely empty, and we'll deorbit it. And get back to the Space Center and see what else we got cooking. Oh, contract complete. Kerbal Academy. Oh my gosh. Engineering 101. She did what she needed to do. Okay. What was that contract? I guess that was the message that Kerbin got. I did a contract by mistake. Alright, so we're here with Madby and Orlin, who are now ready to serve once again, have been released from crew R&R. And they're an engineer and a scientist, of course, and they are out going towards, whatever it's called. It's called something Kerbin Survey Site Ada or something like that. Because I got some new surface deployable equipment. We have the Grand Slam passive seismometer. I also have another set of solar panels that we're going to go in here with. And there's no contract associated with this. I just want to set up the seismic dooberdob to make sure that that I know how to make it work before we end up taking it to other places like Minmus and the moon. Let's get Madby out first. So I want to try some experimenting here. Madby's going to check out this solar panel. So this solar panel right now is producing 3 units of charge. So what I'm going to do is open up her inventory. Can we just grab this? G maybe? Nope. That's for KIS. How do I click on it? Oh, probably just pick up part. There we go. Okay, so Madby... Where'd it go? She picked it up, did she not? Where did that solar panel go? I am completely perplexified here. Okay, let's go back to here. I have no idea. It's like she did a magic trick. Okay, let's take these ones. Whoops. Put them in here. Okay. But I should staff the other ones. Okay. Deploy these somewhere. Okay, there's that. Now, okay, here it comes. And it's producing 4 units of power because of Madby's mad engineering skills. I am more than just a little bit perplexed as to what happened to the other one. Oh my gosh, it just vanished. It just vanished. Okay, let's get Orlin out here. Alright, and Orlin's gonna go investigate this. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we got some options here. We don't want to disable it. There's some, he should be able to interact or something. Is there a button to... Is that all there is to it? I thought there would be... Oh, wait, I saw some kind of interact. Aw, you're nice to it, Orlin. I'm not sure. Does that do anything? I don't think that did anything. Okay, I think it's working. I think everything here is working. Everything's at least powered. I think we're lucky that we have a level 4 engineer with us, because I think that would have gone really badly if not. So once you place those parts, picking them up might be a bad idea. I guess we'll just head back. Okay, we are off. And this is our brand new docking hub. Hopefully on its way to Kerbin Station. You can see by the size of the fairing it is relatively ginormous. It's also got a brand new lifter on it. This has got the skipper engine down here on the bottom, pushing it up. I probably should start making boosters with only single engines on them as opposed to always this array of multiple engines, which I really do like, but of course that just increases the odds of an engine failure, doesn't it? And right in the for the upper stage here we have just a swivel engine handling the top part of the insertion. So this is a new booster. This booster would then be the Skipper 1-S1, I think is what I would call it, using my system. But once again, the entire set was looking great until my launch script had something else to say. Oh dear. Stage. Throttle up. Okay, I don't know what happened there. This time I'm not going to get deep into the problem. Instead, what I'm going to do is put it down there in the description. So for those people that want to dig in and find out what the problem was and what my, well, honestly, rather lame fix of it was, they can go down there and take a look. I will mention once again, it is something that only started happening once I upgraded to 1.10, and then again only intermittently, and I've been ignoring it because it only happened during simulations, but can't quite ignore it here. As for this ascent, I was able to recover the insertion without any problems, got it into orbit, set it off towards Kerbin Station. Talked a little bit about this docking hub last episode when it was in the VAB. It is heavily built around the stock-alike Station Parts Expansion Redux mod. That is a mouthful, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It comes with tons of parts, and I hope to continue to explore deeper and deeper into this mod. The other thing I'll mention as well is that there is no RCS on this thing for docking. I have a plan, hopefully a good plan, that you will be seeing shortly. Now I can see, hang on a second here, I gotta think. No, I can't hang on a second, but I gotta think. I want to push this, yeah, this way. And I can see where I want to go is planet side. So, I gotta get that retrograde going that way. Still don't know if I'm far enough that way. Make sure I end up going below it. Come on. Okay, I think I'm coming below it now. By below it, I mean below on the screen. Below is all relative, isn't it? But I want to end up docking right there on that target. But one thing at a time. First is just get it close and park it, and then we'll get into how we're going to maneuver it into position. But I'm thinking, let's start. Okay, I'm being too. We're gonna try and bring our relative velocity here. Let's bring that thrust limiter right down. I'm going to zero this out here. 5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, 0. Okay, there we go. That's, I think, alright. So now what we gotta do is very quickly get to the station here. And on the station I have with me this little tug, and it should have plenty of monopropellant on it. And we're gonna plunk it right on that docking port right there. I knew this little tug would come in handy. It was a tug that brought up one of the station modules, and I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna keep you hanging on. So I might find a use for you, and now I am finding a use for you. Okay, and I'm hoping there isn't any. These are different kinds of docking ports, but they're the same size, so I have to assume they're compatible. Are you compatible? Oh, come on, really? Really? Okay, you're not. Okay, maybe. Okay, let's back off. Maybe these don't become compatible unless they are extended? And that's part of the reason why... Oh, like, whoa, that's beautiful. Let's try this again. But maybe they have to be extended in order for them to work. I hope that's the case, because if these two just are flat out not compatible with each other, I'm in some trouble. Okay, coming right on top of it, please. Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, so these have to be extended in order to use them. All right. That's one. Okay, now I want, just for balance purposes, on the opposite side of that, we're going to put this. Okay, let's move away. I'm not sure how the wings got so messed up. That's more than just a little bit disconcerting if this thing one day is supposed to go back into the atmosphere. Let's deal with one thing at a time. Where is my nose? Oh, it's way over here already. We'll get Val moving in the right direction first. Let's see what I can do about these wings. That's really bothering me. Okay. H, right? Moving it towards it. Yep. Okay, these hinges, these things are flapping around. They are somehow locked. Okay, there we go. Now they're not locked. Oh wait, let's not do that with RCS. Okay, that seems to be okay. Maybe locking them's not a good idea. I don't know, but whatever. They seem to be okay now. They look like as well they've moved. They look like they've shifted upwards. They used to be lined up nice with the cockpit. This thing is starting to scare me. That's not good. That is not good. Okay, let's get over there. Oh, this is already turning into a little bit of a headache. So with this ship on one side and that little tug on the other, and RCS thrusts, thruster blocks on both sides, and this more or less around the center-ish area of this docking hub, I would think that this should give me a reasonable amount of RCS control. I guess we are going to find out one way or the other. Okay, there we go. Valve's docked. So that's good, that's good, that's good. Now what I want to do is control from... There should be a probe body in here. Let's aim the camera. I want to use this engine. I want to conserve monopropellant. So there should be a probe body. We're going to control from here. Control from here. There we go. And we're going to... Hopefully, are we still targeting the station? We've lost the station, I think. Do we have targets? No. There's the station over there, so let's spin around, kind of get going in roughly the right direction. Station is about 1 kilometer away. This thing is a thing, oh my gosh. Okay, I actually want to connect to this docking port. Unfortunately, the tug is there, so we're going to have to get the tug out of the way eventually. You might be wondering, why didn't you attach the tug on this side? Well, the reason is because in the VAB, there is no node on this side. That might have something to do with its extendability. And now I'm wondering if I extended it, maybe there would have been a node in the VAB. I don't know, but either way, I got what I got now. And actually, what I wanted to do with these right at the beginning was actually stick them on the back of my space plane, but it didn't give me an attach point when I did that to attach the space plane to its booster. And the sun's coming up now. That will make everything easier. Everything gets better with sunshine. Sunshine and happiness. Okay, I think I'm gonna more or less zero out my velocity here at this point. Detach that tug. And try and sort of get this working. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, go in the right direction. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, let's detach the tug. We're going to point you some direction where you are out of the way. We'll deal with you later. Okay. And what about rotation? How do I want this rotated? I would like... I don't know. I think it should be rotated. That way looks okay. Alright, alright, alright. We got this. 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 Okay. Yeah, the RCS isn't exactly what I would call super balanced, but it seems to be good enough. This is a big chunk of momentum coming in here. Oh, look at that right there. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And docked. Okay. Okay. How's it look? How's it look? I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. And of course there's berths here for 3 more, plus there's a berth up here now that we cleared off and another berth here. So we got an additional 5 berths that are 1.25 meter berths, while there's still a 1.625 meter berth here at the end. But we're going to have to strap this guy all down and get it working. So Kerbery's going to go out there once again. We're going to be using Kerbal Attachment System, which comes with these spools of cable and then these cable hooks that you can attach wherever you want. And then all you got to do is link the two together. There we go. Physics can go a little wonky when you do that, so make sure your Kerbal's hanging on. So that's one. Let's try this all again. So we're going to now move down to this one. So let's grab a couple more pieces here while I can. So I need a cable hook. And I need a spool. There we go. Okay, let's connect this one on. Alright, and that leaves one more. This thing should be nice and stiff. Okay, and then, oh, I don't like that. What is this vibration bit going on here? I'm having too many physicsy things really bothering me. Oh, that is really scary. Oh, maybe all these cables are not the best of plans. Link. Excellent. I really am nervous about this vibration that's happening there. It might just be like tension on all of these cables is just... Some of these old ones aren't really necessary anymore. Here, let's start unlinking some of these. Can I unlink them? Unlink. Like some of the, like, you know, when you have... Yeah, let's go down here. We'll do some unlinking. Hoping that will deal with that vibration, or maybe just simply re-rendering. Unlink. Oh, I got lots of... Let's grab that. Kerbery feels like she's beside something that's ready to explode. Oh, that did something. I think I just had too many of these cables. But you know, now that I got these more modules that I can get these nice angles, these nice triangle guy wires, I don't think that seemed to take care of that vibration. And with that result, we'll get Kerbery to install those extra solar panels I brought up. I'm not entirely sure I'm happy with exactly where these things are, but they're temporary. I think once I've unlocked the Gigantor, I'll build something that's a little bit more permanent, but this'll do for now. Not so sure I like the rotation of the docking module either. I might take it apart and put it back together again. But in the meantime, few other things I did to help with the electricity situation is I added in these capacitors. And the capacitors add a lot of extra electric charge. Oh, wait, hang on. There's also this stored charge here now. So that's new. And I think the idea is, well, you know what, let's see if we can just figure this out. There was that flight experiment we were working with before that was really challenging our electrical stuff. So let's turn that on again. These capacitors should be providing more charge. Toggle capacitor panel. What is that? Oh my golly gump. So what do we got here? I want this to happen automatically. What's this little toggle here do? Turn these on, I guess. So you can use these, they hold extra charge, and they should, in theory... Ah! But they go real fast. Okay. Stop. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know what it... Well, we'll pay attention this time. So here, where's our electric charge? Our electric charge, we're decreasing at, you know, we're about 4,600. So if I take one of these and I hit charge, yes, it's dumping its charge, but it does it very quickly. So they hold their charge, but then dump it very quickly as this. Now it'd be groovy if we could automate this. Oh, they're charging up again, but they're just taking the charge from the batteries. Okay, what if we just toggle these guys off? Oh, that stops them from... Oh, there... It's a charge icon. Duh. Okay. So the little light toggles on the side here is whether they should charge up or not, and then the big blue buttons are the dump charge buttons. Okay, that makes sense, but I don't see any way to automate this automatically. Now, Kerbilism does have some automation features, but I do not see the capacitors here on their list of devices. Kerbilism does recognize some devices, and then you can automate them. But yeah, I don't see the capacitors here. These devices, unfortunately, it'd be nice if you say turn them on when your power is low, and don't turn them on again until you're in the sunlight. I don't know if they're going to work for me. I do not know if those capacitors are going to do what I was hoping they would do. Okie dokie. Anything else I did? Yes, there is something else I did. If I go into info, one of the things I'm noticing in my transmitting is we're only transmitting at 1.5 kilobytes per second because I have only really crappy antennas on this thing from a long time ago. They're in here hiding somewhere, and I only put them on because I thought they looked good. Though they don't look that good. They're in here somewhere. Where are they? There they are. These Communitron 8. They're the really small antennas. They're even smaller than the Communitron 16s that come with Kerbilism. I can barely see them in there. I put on 4 of them, but putting on more doesn't help. It takes the rate of your crappiest antenna to be your base rate. Putting on more doesn't help, but I'm hoping putting on a better antenna will help. So over here I have me a Communitron HG-61, which I picked not because I need it for the communication strength, but I need it for the bandwidth. So I'm hoping if I extend this antenna that I will get a better bandwidth out of this. Look at that. It jumped up now to 4.18 kilobytes per second. So it's not just communication strength. I was thinking for a little bit that communication strength is the main thing that decides how quickly you can transmit your data in Kerbilism. It isn't. It's this bandwidth issue that I should have been paying some more attention to. And again, it's not about the number of the antennas, it's the bandwidth of your fastest antenna. That's what it's going to do. You put on more of them, that doesn't help. So I'll keep these Communitron 8s on here just because, even though right now they're providing absolutely nothing. So I got a station that hopefully should be now, I got like science everywhere. Where's the data? It should be starting to transmit this flight data quite a bit better than it did before. We'll keep an eye on it and see if it continues to have electricity issues. It absolutely might. Here, let's time warp until we're into the sun. Charge this thing all up. And I was able to nurse the flight experiment through the night using the capacitors to recharge back up the batteries. It worked absolutely fine, except for the fact that I had to be there to do it. I see no way to automate it. Maybe KOS somehow, I don't know, but that just seems way more work than it's worth. I think I'll be sending up a pile of batteries. That's really what the solution to this is going to be. And that's going to have to be for the future. And in the meantime, I thank you for watching and hope to see you again next time.